For toilet training, we're going to cover it in an easy way for you to remember. So the do's and the don'ts. I'm going to cover the don'ts first because it's what you're probably already doing and what you're getting kind of caught up in. Loads of people make the exact same mistakes and it's really common. They're not mistakes as such, there's just tidier ways of doing it that makes it a lot faster for your dog to pick it up. It makes it easier for you to manage and it's just a nicer way for your dog to learn. It also takes some of the stress out of it for you guys. So, first things first, we don't recommend using puppy pads. And when we say this in class, everyone kind of goes, oh, we've been using, oh, it's fine. It's fine if you're using them. It's fine if you need to use them. Some people do need them because they're in a flat and they don't have the space to get outside quick enough, or just to have it there as if they've got a special area in the house that they don't want the dog to have any accidents in. They are fine, they have a purpose, but for actually training, they're really just telling your dog that it's okay to pee inside, which is not what we're wanting to go for. So we don't recommend using them in training full time. Obviously, if you're leaving your puppy overnight and things like that, you can put them down, but ideally just don't have them at all if you can get away with it. The best thing that you can do is to manage it for them instead, so we'll cover that in your do's. The other don't is not making a game out of your cleanup. So we get a lot of people where the dogs have an accident and then they're cleaning it up and the dogs are like pulling at the toilet papers, they're pulling at the blue roll, they're pulling at the mops, whatever it is that you're using to clean, the dog's in at that and having a game and tugging at it, and that's making it a game which then the dogs learn very quickly. If I do a little pee here, I'm going to get a nice fun game. So again, try and make sure that that's not happening. All you need to do is put your puppy out the way, have somebody else take your puppy, clean up, and then carry on with your day with them. The other don't is try and not have your door just free open for your dog to go in and out. We get a lot of summer puppies that will come and they start to regress back the way where they're having accidents in the house when we get into autumn, when the doors are getting shut over because the rain's starting more or it's colder. The dogs look like they were excellently house trained, and it's actually just the fact that they were just outside when they needed to pee, and they don't really know that that's what we were trying to train. They were just outside, they needed to pee, they peed and they went on with their game or whatever they were doing out there. What you want to be doing is making sure that you're actually taking your puppy outside to go to the toilet. They go to the toilet, then they get a little game, then they come back in. I'll go into it in more detail and just make sure that it makes sense to everyone what you're doing. So just to recap your don'ts, you're not making a game out of it. You're not using puppy pads if you can get away with it. You're not making it a big fuss when anything happens with your puppy as well. So you're not even like the game part of it. Obviously that sounds quite positive, but you're also not doing the negative side of that where your puppy's had an accident and you're going, aye, or you're already like getting angry at them when that's already happened. You're absolutely not pulling your dog over and shoving their face in it. You're not hitting them with toilet rolls, all the kind of old school stuff. We don't need to do that. It's really not a problem. They're just developing their bladders, their muscles. Everything's just getting ready to be able to be house trained. So don't put loads of pressure on them when they're young and you literally just came into your home. Give them time to adjust. Don't get too stressed with it. What you're wanting to do so that it makes it nice and easy for you is don't have your pee pads there, and replacement of pee pads is management. So you are going to make sure that your puppy has ample opportunity to go outside. And then also if they have an accident, it's a no event, like nothing's happened. Just literally if you see your dog and they're already starting to pee or poo, you're too late, so just leave it. If you do see the signs of them going, the circling, some of them will whine, it's different for each dog. You'll know your dog, you'll start to get to know what they offer to you as a signal. Some dogs don't though, so don't rely on that. But if you do catch it just before they've started, you can interrupt it, take them outside. If you've missed it and they're already going, just leave it, make it a non-event, and then clean up, again, non-event, make sure that your puppy's not really involved in the cleanup, and then carry on with your schedule for the day. So your schedule should look like when your puppy wakes up, they go out for toileting. When they have just eaten or drank, they go out for toileting. Before you leave them, they go out for toileting. When you come back, they go for toileting. And any time that you're having kind of play with them, make sure you pause, give them a chance to go to the toilet, because if they're all caught up in a game and they're not thinking about it, they are eventually just going to pee in the middle of a game, and then that's either going to dampen your game, and it's totally ruining your toilet training as well, because all you had to do was take a couple of minutes out, let them have a toilet break, and then come back to what you were doing with them. And the biggest one that nobody ever does, because it's really intense for a couple of weeks, is every 30 minutes in between those times, if your puppy's awake. You don't wake them up to toilet, but if they are awake and active, you should be taking them outdoors every 30 minutes to give them the chance to go to the toilet. When you are outside, don't stay out there forever. Take them out, stay out for a couple of minutes, mooch around with them. If they don't go to the toilet, bring them back in. And again, the biggest mistake people make here, bring them in and they go and start doing like the dishes, or they start putting dinner out, whatever it is, your attention comes off your puppy, and then your puppy wanders around and pees, and then you find it later on. Or you just go turn around and your dog's peeing behind you. Don't give them that opportunity. So management is key for toilet training. If you've taken them out and they haven't toileted, you come back in, keep them either with you on a long line, or literally just be staying and watching what your puppy's doing. Don't go and start doing something else. Especially for the first couple of weeks, your full attention should be really on your puppy. Anytime that they're awake, your attention should be on them, mostly for your toilet training aspect, but also for safety, just to watch what they're doing. So you're going to make sure that you're giving them ample opportunity to go outside. You're not making a game out of it, and it's a non-event, completely non-event. If anything that they're already peeing, you just, whatever, let's carry on. Make sure that you're following your schedule. So when they wake up, before they go to bed, if they've eaten or drank, during play, every 30 minutes in between that. And make sure the last one that you're doing that the most, because that's when you'll start to see what your dog's cycle is, and then you can cut that back. That's not obviously forever. You don't see everyone with their adult dogs going out every 30 minutes. This is just until you get that in place and you can know that your puppy is, their times that's going to be scheduled. You're going to be feeding roughly the same times each day. They're going to need to toilet roughly the same time each day. So keep that in mind when you're training them. It's not long term forever, because a lot of people get caught up in it and it's really, they find it quite stressful. And you'll get week 2 or 3 and they're like, why did we get a puppy? This is too much. I can't deal with this. The only other thing that I would do personally is something that a lot of people choose not to do, and it is fine if you choose not to. I just do it personally because it makes the process faster. If your puppy's still really young and not able to sleep through the night, they're probably going to say, for example, you're putting them to bed at 10 o'clock. Most people that go to bed at 10 o'clock are probably not wanting to wake up until at least 7, sort of half 7 for a lot of people. You would probably want to be setting an alarm for maybe 5 o'clock in the morning so that you're catching it before your puppy's waking up and needing the toilet. Then you can settle them back down. If your puppy does wake up through the night, again, this should be really settled, non-event. Let your puppy go out to the toilet. Keep them on a lead, especially when it's nighttime. I keep my puppies on lead anytime that I'll take them out for toileting, just so that they don't forget what they're doing and they're away doing whatever, sniffing around, eating your trees and all sorts. I keep them on a lead, but again, that's personal choice. Especially at night time though, do definitely keep them on lead, because it means that you can go out, they can pee, poo, whatever it is they're needing, straight back in, straight back to bed. So you don't make a fuss of that, you don't get them all excited. Obviously it's lovely waking up to your puppy, but you want it to be like, okay, pee time, let's pee, let's go back in, that's fine. You don't want it to be, oh yay, we're awake, because that's not you awake yet for the day. So that's just a pee break, back to bed, and then when you get up in the morning, you can make more of a fuss of them. Okay, so we're going to cover what to do for the cleanup, because that's another big mistake that people make. When they are cleaning up, they think they're doing an excellent job of cleaning up, but actually they're using products that are going to promote their dog to go back there, or they're just not cleaning a big enough space. So if your dog is peeing on a carpet, you'll see the tiny little circle, but that isn't actually where it is going into your carpet and spread out through like the layers that are under there. So you need to be cleaning at least 3 times the size of the space that you can actually visually see on the top of the carpet. It's obviously easier if you've got wooden floor, but you still would, because if they're peeing on wooden floor, it is still like splashing over. So you do a bigger surface than what you actually think that when you're looking at it. You can use products that are actually made for this. So we've got like different ones that come in like squishies like this. Obviously you can use them, or you can make up your own solution of biological soap powder. Just make it up in a bucket and you can use that. If you are using it on a wooden floor, or if it's a pee that was old that you didn't see and you've just come across it, you can make it into a paste as well, put it on, let it dry out, then hoover it up and then do another clean again. When you are cleaning, make sure if you catch the puppy in the act and you're doing it straight off, you're going to blot up as much of it as you can and then do your further area with your product, either your product that you've bought or product for your biological soap powder you've made up yourself. Try and make sure you're not using anything with ammonia in it because it will attract your puppy, or this is the same for adult dogs as well actually, although we're doing a puppy program. If you're bringing a new adult dog to your home, it would be the same. If they are smelling that ammonia smell, you might not be able to scent it, but they can, and it will attract them to go back to the same spot. So if you notice that your dog's going to the same spot all the time, probably your cleaning up's not as good as it needs to be. And don't worry about that. It's not that your house is dirty or anything, it's just the product, and then making sure you get a big enough space. So if you feel like you've done it really well, but it's probably just not been big enough, so just spread out the area that you're doing it in and do a nice deep clean and then start again from fresh.